talingin. Oh, you Tarawrawar talbalula Lembalti Karin Elmalat karang aramata Arangalage Balwa Magabe
Kada mereka sulit gua trial gua nasi iltuni ini orang setiap program lagi Berius Ice. Dia mau with aim 75 episode tadi Berius Ice. Mak soal itu si asus marubul belau, Pak Presiden trablur belau, marugul mengutuling agal madala aurora am trablur belau. Ma to gubet silsus ranga aku tu silmar arugul adrablu, tirabl oil loba ora aklam riareng melas mel gorong serang mamang masa itu muk legal urul ngia gora abol sebakli ngoswira bolwad mong diakal matmal alwa siya ira do muleng ngaria gora di airwall announcement soal mo mong sel black announce niya last radio show was etadir go sigis ngel social science researcher mal diri mol open sa position el social science researcher diri mol open ya kumakalom so delas idel asmil matigil sel PICRC website tara ko di ulaklat kel subdel soal moduli asay sel EQPB mal diri mol gora mangale ele umklat ka adla seda tialo males ba selul omela sa badir gultaut mang diakal ngula doles bo tara almutul subdel soal almoduli awase tirgel adar semle urtega miti mokral mutul tara gora auror to ase urtega mit social media photo challenge kiawa molas melakora klay wangadra tretel o malal sing mal sumun some ako makal lomsodel ang mal similem ko dora IQPB malubo ko morsel IQPB Facebook page ma ako makal lomsodel tegi del social media photo challenge ay ako di subdel sa del mukbural tutaw elan soal mo siogara gestergid tial el radio sorgid al tutau magistergid angale IKELAU OTTO ngangel chief researcher ragora reef center tial gora reef center angari igel teblo keldel department ngari admin outreach ma research esegid research department ngai gidel IKELAU OTTO ngai awal korap tul segidel ngali IKELAU adirga maldirga giler dra o amin ngoram lo o sebel ngari ate ello urora abebira gora to ase research expedition ay gel dia el merdo ventri de mora krela gawal malaklub sei maklub sei gora amrul omsu el tial dia la amlara Taiwan el mera ngamle involve bato tablo gegi del expedition awan amlara Taiwan el mer belau ma al tiankel dia la legend ya imong aku timlar belal di lemay setial di dulaseng exclusive economic zone gitial hotel lakling la adabel belaw el gukul ngotmok ni National Geographic en klel tial dia la Pristine Seas hale di kulmo segid baygu aisa ablin na uru legdemo ko makal smada gigid el expedition el blani Maelal tuta Evelyn, good morning. Thanks again for coming to the show. We're very glad that you have that have the time to come and share your experiences with this expedition, sir. Malway say Raul mangwarawal important to the participate in the expedition.
So lang asap ngil tuta mar kami rokoy. So participating in these expeditions are really important because first, Palau's exclusive economic zone, Palau's waters in the open ocean. It's a huge area, and it's really difficult to conduct research in these areas. Logistically, it's very expensive to go far out into our open ocean, and then it's also difficult to find vessels that are equipped with the capability of conducting research. A lot of we've had partnerships with we have partnerships with marine law, and so we've used the Ramali and Kadam to do research work, but their vessels are designed for patrol and safety and security, whereas these vessels are specifically equipped to do research. So they have A-frames, or these structures that are able to go off the side of the ships to deploy stuff into big depths. So these things are really important for us to maximize the time out there and to collect as much samples as we can.
Malako igalal wasay marklo to tell do rolo batiti de batte sergit ileng ngadabel bela maklo makoteng wal al ndi tebel omral monge mal kakalaklo do mong dia kalsat sebedel ongerung endia ka malungil dongur gidel dos pel murula ga idrom subu ma un maklo to tell do ora amlas mlo rolo bantra ga lo bangela ga gidel do expedition ga gidel dialer subu el mokira kargere ngumelgo eblin kmasay kada mrenga sulela amrin loleng albebira time sel dil gamam yagi gora molo ni tira say sel obo batro en grande asmam lo gumil mom gimola kora collecta for example a water sample mong tokongay indi sayid ngagid eblin mro say sel gibo mama patrol boat intelgibil mring gamam momrula bebira ko makaluror letial patrol boat AQUARIUM girel gora patrol girel atora security lat belbelaw ndakay gel dongul gira tor omsul wal install the tel patrol boat maun maklo to trela da rolo bangala expedition ay ga dili already ketmok gira ga idrom sub mong wal beot adol teng langarang edo langas angarang edo o langarang mal beot ay ga expedition sel dangara ga expedition na boat ay ga dial omsub. Okay. Can you talk about the two ships? I believe it's the legend, the one that you rode from Taiwan to Palau. Just give us a kind of activities and how was it?
Yeah, sure. So this was a really great opportunity for me to go. I flew out to Taiwan, and we departed in Kaohsiung, port. So it's in the southern area of Taiwan, and so we left Kaohsiung, and it took 13 days for us to transit from Taiwan until we made port here in Palau. And during that time, the ship is a state-of-the-art ship, so it was a really great opportunity for me to see all that is possible. This ship is specifically designed to do all types of research, and so while we were on the ship, we had 4 to 5 days of just transit when we transited from Taiwan into Palau waters. And during that time, we were collecting water samples. So the ship has this automatic flow through that as it's moving, water is being collected. And so we're able to collect that sample and continue sampling. So we did this every 4 hours for those 5 days that we were transiting, measuring for different types of measurements from these water samples. And then when we got into Palau's waters, we were able to deploy sediment traps. So these were these really big traps that we put off the side of the boat, and the trap actually is a component of five different traps on this long string. So this string went all the way down to 2,000 meters. So
about 6,000 feet.
Yeah,
roughly. Yeah.
So there was a trap on 2,000 meters, 1,500, 1,000, and then moving up. And so we left that out there for 24 hours, and then we were able to retrieve it. There is no way that you're able to do this manually. These traps are super heavy, filled with water, especially for the 24 hours. And so the crew from the Legend has a very competent group of technicians know how to work all of the equipment there, and so they were able to lower the traps into the water using the frames that they're able to deploy off the ship, and then the cranes. So we did that, and then they were also able to collect sediment cores. So again, a part of this ship is that it has a system in it that allows it to stay in one exact spot. So it's got engines all around. So it's able to remain that stationary position, which is really important for us to collect sediment cores, which is basically just lowering this piston slowly down into the water column until you get to the bottom, and then dropping it, and then collecting that sample to come up. All of this work is to understand the carbon flux, and it's a big word coming around these days. It's called blue carbon, and blue carbon is carbon in the ocean is increasing because of carbon dioxide, climate change. So all of that carbon that's being absorbed in the ocean is changing the chemistry, but the ocean has a way to manage it. And so all of these different work that we were doing on the Legend is for us to help understand how is it being absorbed. So a lot of it is coming down, settling to the ocean floor, and they become food for the planktons and stuff, or they die out and then they stay based on the floor. So this carbon gets trapped and isn't able to release back into the atmosphere. So this is the kind of work that we were doing there. And my particular role was to, as an observer. So I went on the ship to just observe all of the different works that was happening on this expedition, to see how Pickwick can join in on the cruises in the future. There's a lot of work that we've done in the past and that we'd like to redo. And so trying to understand where would we be able to jump in and be able to collect on their next time that the Legend comes to Palau.
Okay. Oi, ngal ligala malgola sei, ngsileb ngas ko gilmora Taiwan. Eseral ngas atay del loral mel belau en le trim der clipse 13 days. Trim der clipse tiram mel belau. Masay gidra oral sis before you enter the Palau exclusive economic zone, you were just collecting water sample. Oral sis betel de belau en lariak medel bogor de lay clipse lura tel dula seng Tial almol wala dira sis bad belau. Temira tetiro Taiwan mora almol le gore malawar sample. Mal interesting lang gagi dilo ay sa tial legenda. Hindi akal way gamam silgi mga igal ertid mo malawar sample ko mo scoop me dirgo mi sugura container mga. Kaya sa loral tial yal tira malawar sample lang. Gagi dilo ay sa mo tial yal lakat mo kulgira laway gagi dilo. Masira lorur tial lo mo tial yal. Aku merak barha kasel amla say komrili tidil mo ngarang komrili sel mo ngarang ilgira la moktegra gagi dil lo mulu legal. Anyway, matagalek ta water sample eseral sis bad belau etiram no start los pe agora ngora wada seng trap ngora wal bub gegre claro mo todo gobsil mora erul telal meter linya doidilmo of fit en sedra seng bogor ngara elolmel tela el fit e gore be claim el morsel rio e be claim el 500 meter en gukaria imora trap e way seguid it so when you collect when you use the traps, the ship was stationary, it wasn't moving.
No, so the ship stayed stationary when we were deploying it, but then we just let it drift. The trap had a GPS tracker on it, so the boat could just drift and watch the tracker. After 24 hours, we went back to collect it.
Okay, seguida tele la seguida el trap el reliable na lusperin mala agora sample. Tiangaria GPS tracker malubeng ngora asignal ngari melato tbiti del trap el morsegui del rultela el meter e agora oiti metia dingin lombi bakle lengiril mungil lu me al sigang e of course de tiras il de radial le medina sei tial el buba girel gel tatragri abri awal sigang tama yid el sample el me e mal moradial le Elak was say, so after that you did that trap, and then after that you did the core sample. Ela seguido el core sample lo goni abri la seto gobsi agora dongu, que agora to asen siap tengora wal sap. Tungul mon pedra batak egore oitim sel iting wal ngelt. So basically the shaft will penetrate into the bottom floor. And when you pull it out, the sediment doesn't come out because it's probably like well compact or stuck inside. Or do they have a closing?
The shaft is designed for when it pulls out, the tip closes automatically and traps everything in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sige del shaft lo logoria eblina sei. Sige do tilmo mong melt tial bertakle. Esel mol tam trinya masim no maigal sampol ng alsel tial gora sapt adi al modolodlo. Etu kun merbab. Sige del barom lo lagel sampolia ngagida IKELAU ay sa se ketungul merbab e gor omesling alwasi how much carbon has been deposited over there. Ngulgo lo say ngora man la moklol to tel lo say blue carbon. Kada rogul modengek masek dam lama arod ilgirakle de la blue lat. Tiakle blue lava dub lo gaigal botol carbon dioxide. El gombali ma tulamlay maskogi marang otto del mamlidiul. Mesela otto del mamlidiul en wal gora mamu botel mamlidiul mendiagal se remi de atmosphere el mut el bounce back ma ul metel blue ala di maral mom galde. El asel bounce back el merada e adaba se lo rega da bebiringi metel lo musu lo runga wa abli nasi. Tetral gay sang lo asi. Mai gagi del dao marwa bertak la oreg ngora wangarak lungil. Ngoga gigi de wad gora mamudu la sei mal sum mada orgda waqlung el tiang agara orgda waqlung el tiang en se del gora wada gisa sei madal wa sel sum gut gora kantin mo ngatmok la galuror en se del mom mumdi sei mal wa waqlung el carbon asem el oreom el mada ma arwa ba bartak la se el orgdi se agora da itail. Very interesting, Evelyn. So after you collect the sample, that was it. You just collect water sample. You know, you have this project about atomic. I mean, it's not in our program, but I was just wondering: were you the water sample you collect? Was it also has to do with what's the term they use? Eh?
Alkalinity?
Not alkalinity. You know, some people know that Japan now. You know, this just water. I'm quite curious to say, what's the water sample you collect also involved in the measuring of that? What's the term again? Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
The nuclear waste.
Yeah, the nuclear waste.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Focus
Yeah.
Okay. Come akora dim lo curious kasi igal waris apolo lay ndiril sil gora me measure wa nuclear waste indinga gida igal asendiak kama magukmal di mala sa waris sample ko bay more into like a temperature.
Yeah. So like alkalinity, yeah, and then dissolved organic particles and stuff like that.
Oh, tamal di measure agora wa aklel de la daba temperature ma alkalinity. Sel tolo gonia se alkalinity, sel oral moklay gagi del carbon dioxide daba ben wal gora amral mom ke kami madabul. Ese ul mendial lungil al borba alkaline wabo agel wamrand ma Arwak station sa Yellow Spell Yellow Spell gor omeo ba gal skeletoni celloral mo reo seguid el alkaline ng gora mo bringra Arwak corals to be to calcify oy
yeah
tamo bring lo meo ba gal badingit cell calcification maluben cell el gobarada bul murutial calcium cellular مقال غلي ان ميتو تسيد الغبار هذا بالمول calcium مسل بول ميتو تسيد الغبار على سل هذا بالمول calcium ان واب الميتو تر الامراند اللي قال الامراند مروا اكسوسكيلتون مال بنتال بوديلا وعرب بروكرم امام او سبيس سيد الكالسيوم كربونات الميليسي اي قال يوسير ما قال بدنير مال interesting so you measure alkalinity of course temperature
pH, salinity. Yeah.
Salinity, anyway, mal interesting ay galom sub moral gora ngular ngudel moriate le del gora moray gay del collaborate. Can you tell us a little bit about the other expedition that was only in Palau? I believe the name of the boat is Argo from, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a very busy February, March for me. I was on Legend. As soon as I came off Legend, the next day I had to jump on Argo. And so we were out on Argo for, it was supposed to be a 10-day expedition, but we ended up doing 9 days, I believe, because the weather was pretty bad. But this opportunity to join the Pristine Seas expedition here in Palau, they were here for, I was on the very last portion of it. They were here for 3 weeks, 4 weeks prior. They spent 3 weeks down in the Southwest Islands, and then they did a 1 week expedition prior. And then I jumped on board, and I joined because, we joined because we wanted to continue some of our work, our eDNA project. So we have this long-term eDNA project, and eDNA stands for environmental DNA. Environmental DNA is collecting water samples and then filtering them, and on the filters, DNA from the animals in the waters, are getting trapped. And so when we analyze those filters, we're able to say what's been in this water or what swam by. So we can say that there were tuna here, there were marlin, there were whales and such. So we were able to join Pristine Seas and continue our eDNA collections at the different seamounts that we visited. Joining the Argo was really cool because a lot of the work that they've done, we've done as well. So they've done BRUVs, which is baited remote underwater visuals surveys. And we've done that before, as well as drop cams. So baited, the BRUVs is basically GoPros on a string, and they have bait on them. And so the bait is supposed to attract whatever animals to come and eat in front of the cameras. And that will allow us to take videos of these animals and measure them for the sizes. And so I was able to observe them and to see how they did it versus how we've done it, and network and discuss with them the differences in our work, and also the similarities in what we're finding in the different stuff that we're doing, as well as the drop cams. So drop cams are basically cameras that are in this housing, and they drop it down to the ocean floor, and they stay down there for I forget how many hours it was, 8 hours maybe. Don't quote me on that, but it stayed down there for a few hours, and then it would automatically release and come up, and then from those cameras there's bait also attached, so then it attracts whatever critters coming by, swimming in front of the camera, so we can identify the different things that are being seen on the bottom. So those are the really cool stuff that we've done in the past, and being able to see other people do it, we're able to collaborate and discuss about the challenges and the solutions that we've each come up with to deal with the challenges. And then also being able to just see what they're finding, all while we're still collecting our eDNA samples, because it's really important for us to continue our time series. One thing about our eDNA project that's really important is that we've been doing eDNA for the past 3 years now. And this is in partnership with Marine Law. We've been using the Remily to go offshore and collect these samples. And we have these time series that's really important for us to say during these, because if you say one time, if you collect samples at one time, you can say, okay, there was a fish there was a tuna there at that one time, but we cannot say that Palau's waters is filled with tuna. But if we continue to collect over periods of time, and we continue to see tuna showing up in large quantities in our samples, and we continue to see marlin and all of these really important species for their fisheries and our management, we're able to say, our waters is a home to these important animals, and so it's important to protect them. So it's really good for us to continue that sampling. So we were grateful to be able to. So we continued it in March, and so we collected those samples alongside.
When you say you collect water sample, would that also include, out there, would that also include or a fish larvae,
For this specific project that we did, we only collected the eDNA samples. So basically, it's scooping up water from the side of the boat and then filtering them.
Oh, so there's no way we can know this water sample contain a larvae or something? Okay. I was just curious. Anyway, mal interesting tiale guktar expedition le blania IKELAU, ragukti de belbelau. Tia oro lo bangel sele dial el doseng argo, tial dial argo amlelo auror belal kmed lewal Sunday, erset git maklia al auror tial clow belau. Ya edel Sunday al lunut mok auror southwest. Ngali galo asa korah mal lemri dek mal digiler da Taiwan nga guk mari tiagi del expedition makrid ke kelbas adial di salngas adial ng arsel korawa lulubong lurior tial argo. Anyway, mulgol wasaigal war sampol lola ya malungil leng kadoram lamru la gagi lurora before matiram rul mal mlewil te lam gora wasai malwai sengara gora se edel logiwi gora improve igal to gora ga se absorbe mulgol wasai luroril mlarate igi del argo egel lurol argo galekta amal dimrut kilgirel seguido la sen eDNA sel eDNA direk tara gora es el turno lo sen environmental DNA se moktegni wadi dragal samporaral melme omi egegi dil gora wal al arma lu bengal dangai ay galang al mera masile gore identify lo sei ngal tebila gora gomil momesingi microscope nga atelgibra budel malu ben di ilangaral ngigel di ilangaral segit seluro loruri engegi da igala segi mulget mo kotiara wolel lela sera algot 2020 al durase okay mlam simra de belau kora rif agi gor oling tergmila se bolsem elem bomo tangal gora ama mat mo kraurol girel tial hotelela klingla de belau tial pala la sera ministra suari melbara imala gora rif agora rif agua direk el gatangam la se magara do tiang matogora direk el mala adaba sa scientist sa se agot lul en gatega del mouror tiam mal daga do nek mo ngarakke tial basio segi de nyam logot lo urora ga gid lo menciona igala lo ser wa props era ngas ay galar tegi del dal yagi miru tegi del urol millenga qladilira adra national geographic temlo sibil ngosugumamal lo durok la dongul may mumlo sa edro durok lagi do la say deep sea camera al morbutil mortial lo le la partakle enya awal gora amulu il malasya sing lo sengra mangara omi bay setia marang etial camera ngania talgail regil ngara partakle esel ngem de sigid regil partakle endingil medum mesel beldum ko ngara ertel mo de gidril long sira erten atara lu ngot mokkoria guktia se braps tia direk gora camera etedo ko sil mora the braps wouldn't necessarily go down deep, they just go into like mid-water column.
They're actually on the surface.
Oh, a braps adiga surface. Oh,
like 1 meter, 2 meters down.
Oy, elang ngarin seguido da sem braps. Sel braps ora di short el mora sei camera del aolel mo gora attract tangi lo domes. Anyway, متتبدي سيد الدروبس البروبس المرا ولا الكميد الغرا الول المبذوله التولسق munguk tiker segit tial props ngari awal mengatrak tayang gilmay yagdu komesa sei ngara mangaral ngigla agor omi bay setial gora mokmedra abudela da bertial ngol leng diado dengeleng segit ngatengedel maurot tial PNMS mendiado dengem godora amne soda yegi de lomsu mese yegi de lomsu bawa gimul mutmokle eng metti yegi de almet mur osisiluror mal no ngila tele la ablin el nomas matogora direk galekta yegi. But I bet when you were on the boat, the collection equipment are really.
They're actually the same.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Same stuff. The only difference is, so the Argo has 4 different smaller boats on top of it. So every day they deploy the small boats, and then the different teams go out while we stayed on the main ship to collect samples.
Oh. Well, this is a tetera galek tayi. Ding mo lang siya kung it tayi dile. Argo, ngaria clown kagre. When you say small boat, not sub.
No.
Oh, small boat. Oh, but tell argo ngaria clown kagre bil singel. Mung bekelsil siya gayir clown kagre bila sa dipla 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Totoo dat tablagal bilas munguk maral mo ko mala sampol marwa ebli na ko kara at yal klol bilas sa diragal mala sampol. Mal interesting ay gayid way sel muldura ulil. Kada maral mga sulay gayid le lagin di alsa edel digidel. I believe we have one more like expedition coming up.
Yeah.
Again, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, sure. So I think it just to touch on the importance of this work, not only does it give us exposure to the different types of research and methods, but it also allows for collaboration and networking. So talking to different people about the work that we're doing and sharing the pros and the cons to make things better. So we actually have a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the College of Marine Science, the National Sun Yat-sen University in Taiwan, and this is the university that I went to join the cruise, the expedition to Palau.
So this vessel, the Legend, belongs to that university.
No, actually, the Legend.
You gotta charter it from somewhere.
The Legend belongs to another research institute in Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so being able to join that allows us to learn the different methods and seeing how we can expand our PNMS work in Palau. And so this year is actually quite big on expeditions. So we just finished the 2.
Yeah. Let me just translate what you just said. Yung malkoy galalo say, aul mong marklo to tira daw rolo buntrite gayid del quraat, at tira gayid del adra gayid del expedition. Ang blol sa del subay gel dimlaqdo ngey, ku komesa gel lorul. Matiras il guk subay gel tang lania ngora dia ka mal ngarar gid nding ngaria ka aguk to ngil dia lo ngli. Sa tara gid del mom dina say, klok to tira telom sub. Blol gire del gora akasusu bulmongemi le el bebi ratai mengaria adel medilak pongorang eka kuktia modongli mangari omodongli enya kuktia lodongli mongmal kang gagida igelan mulwa sing mal makluk tira gagid mosere ngaria tele ngari gagid el gora omsublo bentrir maras masay magarada gora atmakal kaing seluror dolas mal gora expand malu improve gagid lure redra elang malgol wase sa gagid luror oya sabi del qura oya gagid luror melangan ya MOU blelsan ringi sera segidele National Sun Yat-sen University at Taiwan segit sel daingak IKELAU sile bulmat Taiwan open treaty da sil daingak etamas segidel dial merbelanding sel dial dial sel daingak nguktara research institution itla ora kukarya dolonglir tingilas ni emerald merbelau. Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Then you continue on with another expedition.
Yeah, so
there's one more.
there's actually we're quite busy with expeditions this year. So those 2 expeditions earlier this year. We're actually about to begin cetacean training and surveying, and cetaceans whales. So we're looking at mammals. So a lot of the work that we've been focused on has been fisheries, and so now this one project that we're beginning to conduct, we're going to be trained on how to conduct these whale surveys, and then we'll be going out to collect samples. Do these types of surveys. So I can't really say too much on that. We're getting trained. Actually, our training begins on Thursday, and then we start doing field collections next week. So we'll be doing nearshore work, but then also we'll be joining marine law under Malig or Kalam, I believe, to go offshore to do some work as well, to do these surveys. So we're really excited about that. And then we have another one later on this year. This is, we're beginning to plan this. The NOAA Nautilus, the Ocean Exploration Trust, is coming to Palau in October, November. So this is also another offshore work that we're collaborating to see what work that we can join on and assist to meet both quotas, so to say.
Okay. Ngakita igala lo saya el arraga dora mal meri kita regal expedition. Toka agora expedition magora abesel tol gu padisi sebral sel. E atara abesel tol padisi asi sebral sel. Ilnya omur ara ngoluro rasi. Ela tuguk momut mokrarwa arwa igala oro lo bentira ku kora collaborator setir ma kora hagasel el boldak e motmok rauriol gu kire la sei magarada surba igale erwa aguzira set mauteral do stia training me la sel bol merel ngara training asem magarada kora surba igagi el aguzira station se e kada ngara kora motetelel mangagida igala lo ai sei sel bol merga training ngari atblol kora gu komral gibo motmok kira surba igang ngani sel was nearshore. When you say nearshore, it's probably like a mile outside the reef.
Yeah, I think we're staying within the 12 nautical miles outside the reef.
Anyway, sel was nearshore ng lakora as el dingara tel liga o mesra bluma siya nearshore. Esel gu pon merga sidil surba nearshore etu mora seguid luad gora aridal mo lakora mo palmo mo mengem blu seguid etu oro lo bentrira adra marine law el aguk mongasel gadam le ridara blum to spera clowl se agora tara excited el guklo mesiniar wa galar el algirela gal tora agora obsubedra tel PNMS e agora engagi del regal molmol ai se agara october engari aguk tara dial el mel clela no alotilus tial dial la mei el direct mo motmok la wa gagi del luro right krel kora galek tarwa sampol marang mengarwa igala sibil guk morngi motmok la gagi del guk kurele del kora galek tarwa war sampol girela adi edai akblabe satal toy ngal ligala millogo lo sei aul ngungil sel da galek tagal EDNA environmental DNA malu ka kora gal sampor aran ngarea tadi era arm awasay ndiakal sa edel dimletal do top del mong e galek taga se ngaria tu gatsura blue belaw lendak do dek magan dimle langalak la lubeng moral maul ngom katak sa say close to trela do mol mul galek taga del DNA le sel loral ngara ede ngewang e mragal dolat taga del DNA mei edil ngaria di era gayi del arm en wal sel subido se oy ay gal arma di blol ngaria rat bel belaw instead ra kora di one time mo galek tawar sample me o mesa DNA se ngaria gayi del arm ngora di al sal malo rosel luldasling se edra se altang ndirepta di enira bel ngalak belaw maul muklok tu trail gired malmol mal galek taygagit insada malmol mo aident qora wabo do ngek mo mangaral ngigir tial ngol se edel mtigra al belara anytime sia qora moktiga sel idin anyway mal interesting ay gagit qora collaborations ma angaral do ngotmok leng wal mrigil gida digit in terms of like logistics selbol tora ora asay abil singe de madongu en gadamal kade brage git mangrak to trail do lo mantri trigagid. So throughout May there will be training on cetacean ay gal guzira training and then survey. That would include the whales, dolphins, and all sort of cetaceans, which is good because we've been thinking about developing some sort of like ngaraklel tourism kadora develop tourism nami mensadal mom say do we have a consistent well in somewhere in Palau? Where do we find them all the time? So in the future we know, okay, we wanted to develop sort of like a nature based tourism.
Exactly, this supports that.
Right, and then we can say, hey, tour operator, if you go to this area, on this day, your customers can enjoy watching a whale or muklog to trail bodo ngila say malwang aray gal atabel belaw ay gal aram kadokora omsin dem tigir maram. So that's good. Oh, so that around October, yeah, we begins to explore. Ocean Explorer Trust will start the exploration in Palau with their vessel called Nautilus.
Yes.
All right. Wow, man. And our researchers from Pigrick will be on board to help carry out the deep sea research and also learn. I believe I kind of mentioned it, or not mentioned, but I was involved in a meeting once, and they're talking about the unique thing about this exploration. They will also, while they're doing the exploration, this Nautilus, they can interact with like a classroom, talk to the, real time, the teachers are in the classroom, and then they can watch them doing the actual work, and they can, from the classroom, they can ask questions. For example, a scientist, Mark, what are you going to do with that, And then this Mark will just do his work, and then he explain, okay, that's kind of really, it's sort of like a real time. In other words, even if you weren't on board,
you're still on board.
You're still on board. Yeah, through this. That's a very unique and yeah. Can you elaborate more on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really good, awesome connection that they have. Is so they have a live stream constantly on their website where they have an ROV, a submarine, that dives down into the deep, and this is projecting live onto their website, so anybody can go in and log in and see what they're seeing at the exact same time. And a great thing is it connects to both the science communities and also educators. So students can call, teachers can call in with their class, and then like there's someone there who's explaining stuff. But then there's also scientists that, it's limited space on the ship, so only so many can go on. But then there's experts also calling in or watching. And so if there's an expert on watching on board and goes, can you go back to look at that real quick? And then there's someone always monitoring the chat. That person will tell the dive operator, the robot operator, can you go back? They want to see what this looks like. They're trying to identify it. They go back, they'll look, goes, oh yeah, that looks like it's this, and then they'll confirm it. And so those are really cool interactions, as well as with the students. And students can call in, or teachers can call in with their students. They can ask questions, what they're seeing, what's exciting stuff.
Wow. Kaya gid expedition mo ni October lo bangala na tilo samral ko ra togubet sil expedition leng tamrula uri ra osisil tameng ngani adol ko blaltet kila say among alem mal di monitor tial live stream mal ngari akri la adra blu ko ngertir mal suma adra blu ogel mergaw en sebem el mas tial gril morngel adal murula uror mungel adal murula uror a onger ngel adra blu sea ora mal wal interesting gil tay el expedition morira a October to hacer live stream es long as lag in el mo seguir el website tra Nautilus en se el mo tay el live stream o gera ngagida IKELAU mo kasi en se la sensen el ngara classroom ringi maranga kaskuro go sum telag in en si il nome tel expedition follow tel expedition al se la classroom mal go ra ngilar ngudel. Anyway, wow, all exciting stuff IKELAU. That's pretty much what I was trying to ask you to let the public know about all these different expedition. You want to have the last word before we close the program?
You want to talk about this?
Oh, sorry, almost forgot. Yeah, aleklutel lakmal mlabes tel maldigerel gora toil gora diulaklat. El asado buluro tel PNMS yang tiap to katong tingin. Arha kasi ngara daw suba ar marang e osisil time endir ngani ha kasera center el mrail gora amlaw de suira adrablu mangani sel dulu aseng socio economic survey el mrail el altam raba blura belaw. Dia moktegani asay kada mlaw de suira adrablu asay ngraw de suit lirit tel PNMS ngarang mo gora asob klil girela klakartir malum ngigel ko kora motel melel ngadi lo la sel lu de suira adrablu girel kyal tial eotele la kling la bel belau tial social economic survey amra al time Miguel Blue el gukla mombrega el se ora seguido lurur Aigel Blue el blabol mereka ni agin mal mereka sulin nosungil participate tra tiagi del survey Aigel Blue dirabol mereka tir agin mal mengale lo sei mobak loreng eda kaing sele igel information bom arsel survey ase el mongo sugit mai gagid information el waigala marada nse el maigal meodak en mos bedel gora amsada ital chasing lo sei malawai sei go gora improve tial eotele la kling la bel belau en rara la do guingu en mos edel sob clear improving mo benefit ra regulat bagi mal mengale remila sei al sumo tial survey amra lo ablumiu mo tala bak loreng e mo ngera gel bologer remiu len ngiro gul mal dim clock to trail mo ngosuid el mo ngil gut makli tial eotele la kling la bel belau go sulang apa program kita di metai lumon di bok sai gala ora di seselbung ora mo musum
I know. Thank you, Asap. Sulang to everybody who called in or who is listening on today. If you have any questions about any of this, we'd be happy to discuss more. And so I'm always available, as well as a lot of the researchers are well informed about the different work that we're doing. And so please ask us any questions. We love talking about the work. So yeah, thank you so much for listening in. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, gala ko na di solo mereka suli rogul mas edelo ranks. Wase mal ngla simra center gida adal belau tial PICRC ngla sim ligera adal sola gora ko magalom sa dalaga gida lururul en si ilom ko dong malum ko mem ko mitra bay gala ko masa center gida ko mado dul gira legal lurul longot mokla center sa lulu ko ay galaw ya do mesra time ko gora maraw lubong ma ksal balding tial se ko mrenga sulia regulat no si ilguk tunin al silse o mes sel mom ngoguid ma el episode tial Bruce Ice ma tial siorgida di meritia mosimr masel guk mel bersel o mal sulang
Talingim oh you Tarawra wal balula lembalti kare el malak karang aramaka arangalage balwa magabe klagarage